Wait
I
for this.
come back.
Utlwang batho ba ba taking test ke yo bathong ba tjesi.
I come back. I'm back.
I feel like
Dineo.
I know
hello.
some people are probably crying, like missing me or whatever, because the chilies of the podcast is not here for a long time. The sugar of the podcast, the cream de la creme of the pod was not here, and you guys are feeling like you guys were dying. Worry not, my minions, because I have returned.
Jesus Christ. Ooh,
Yeah, you guys must just
you have resurrected. You have really
yes,
resurrected.
yes, officially here, bitches. Okay.
TUT released
Welcome
you.
back.
Thank you.
Welcome back. The Koreans missed you.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Saranye, all my Korean oppas and onis, and all my Nigerian people. I know you missed me too. Yeah, also South African people. I mean, they're not important, but yeah, you guys too, I guess.
We don't have
Wow.
we don't have
Wow.
Nigerian listeners. We don't have Nigerian listeners, by the way.
We do. They are probably in the US and in South Africa. They're just not listening from Nigeria, but they're listening from other countries. So we definitely do. I can feel it.
So while you still have all this energy and you feeling sharp, how many banana puns do you have in your arsenal?
The longer the banana, the better it tastes.
It's horrible. That is just horrible. I don't even know what to say to that.
I have an why do bananas have to wear sunscreen?
I have no idea.
Because they peel.
That's so corny. I hate you.
Yeah.
You are slipping up with the jokes. Ha 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 ha. Dini, do you have any banana puns?
I wish I did.
Okay, so when our energy, tell the people why I am busy banana this, banana that.
Before I do that, I have another pun for you guys.
Of course you do.
Why did the monkey like the banana?
It appealed to it.
Because it had a peel. You were almost there. Yeah, because it had a peel.
You are horrible.
That is just so stupid that it's so funny.
I swear it's like
So,
I swear it's like you sat down and wrote the shit down.
bruh. I was thinking about it this entire time.
Here. So tell the people why.
Yeah, but then I'm last final one.
Oh my God. Yes. So
What kind of key opens a
what kind of what?
monkey?
I hate you. I swear. They should never have let you out. It should never have picked you out.
So, fellow he said and she said listeners, this week, I think, or next week, I'm not sure, is the last time you guys are going to be saying he said and she said because we have a new identity. And I'm not talking about the store, I'm talking about a new identity.
I'm not talking about the store. Wow. Where do you get that? Dini used to manage identity. So,
Yes, I'm not talking about the store.
One.
We
okay.
are going to have a new name.
Yes. The part after this one, when the listeners,
After this one,
yes, when the
we are
listeners go
going.
looking for us, they are going to be slightly surprised, confused, but we are here to unconfuse them.
Yes. So,
What will be, yes,
so our new name is going to be What Fruit Do Sheeps Like? Bananas.
oh my God, you know what? Okay, so to clarify what Dineo is saying, we are switching names from he said to from he said she said. We will no longer be he said she said. The episode after this one, when you log into whatever DSP you're listening from or from YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. By the way, wherever you're listening from, you will now the episode after this one. When you log on to the DSP or the YouTube channel, whatever platform you use to listen to us, you will now see a Banana Republic. So when you go search for us on YouTube, just look for Banana Republic with the E with the letter 3 as our E, and it's not a C at the end, it's a K. But like just look for the logo we'll have up here on all the DSPs, that logo, and if you find that, you'll know that's us on YouTube. So yeah, like there's basically like it's not a big deal why we're changing. It's more like for business reasons. Uh, we wanted to align our name. Name is such a horrible word, but yeah, like we wanted to align like the name of the show with like the type of content that we provide, and also we didn't want to drown in the sea of podcasts out there. And as you know, if you Google he said she said or look it up in any other search engine, like a million other things except this podcast pops up. So yeah, that's all that is, you know. We were very split about,
Rebranding.
yeah, we're rebranding, like we are taking a different route. We want to appeal to more people. And, we want to appeal to the right people at that. So yeah, that's
We also have like a slogan thingy going on, like the podcast that appeals
yeah,
to people.
yeah, that too.
Or to the keys.
Yeah. So yeah, Banana Republic next week when we drop but nothing changes on your side. As a listener, you're still gonna use the same login you've always used, the same DSP you've always used, or if you're listening to us from YouTube, uh, you'll find us at the same place. And please, please, please hit subscribe on the YouTube channel and drop us some comments there as well. So yeah, now that is over, let me officially welcome Dineo back. Welcome terug.
Thank you.
We have returned from the land of the students.
The shit was very tough, eh?
That's the land of
Mm.
Solomon. She knows when I say Solomon, I mean Solomon.
Yes, the land of Solomon. But we have retired though. We are not Solomons anymore. Or for now.
We made history. We made history.
So a lot happened this week. Where to start? I guess
I have a grievance.
yeah, let's hear it.
So my mans, my 7 mans did not win a Grammy. I'm saying here like, what the fuck? Why?
What's this?
I mean, it's not only them. It's like those people are hella disrespectful. But like, let's cry about them because they deserve it more than anyone else does.
More than anyone.
Dineo also-
More than anyone. More than anyone.
Yes.
Dineo, not more than anyone. The Scammy Awards scammed the best. So, yeah, BTS I see, but there is somebody more important than your 7 ninjas.
No.
I think
What's her hit single? What's Taylor Swift's hit single? What's her album called? Where do we listen to her music? Who plays her music?
No one anymore.
white people.
Hence, it's the Scammy Awards.
They really are.
So you guys feel somehow about your people being snubbed?
Of course, because bruh, like Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande, where have you heard their song?
Hey, Jesus Christ.
But did you ever hear songs of BTS playing on TV in South Africa? Yes, you have. It's like,
I swear I haven't.
well, you don't watch TV, right?
Yeah, fair point.
So
Okay.
it's very depressing. Like my mans deserved that award. Like they really did. They worked hard and everything, and they've been doing all of this work. And they were like, you know what, you guys are Korean. We're not gonna give you that shit because you are not white.
See, now I wish somebody acted like Kanye West and just went up to that stage and told them where to get off.
That's where Dineo would have come in. She would have been there. Like, who won the award BTS was supposed to get?
Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande. They are like whatever. They are duo.
What was the
Best,
like?
it was a best group or duo performance.
Oh
wow!
Oh, they're definitely not winning that over BTS. I mean, I don't watch much. I haven't watched much of BTS, but like I do know. I do know like an Ariana Grande and Lady Gaga performance. It's definitely not topping a BTS performance right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's but like it's the Grammys. Let's never forget that.
It's the scam.
Macklemore and Ryan Lewis won a Grammy Award over Kendrick Lamar for Best Hip Hop Album. mean, Good Kid, Mad City is a classic, and The Heist is not.
You.
Like even the guy who won the award apologized to Kendrick Lamar for winning the award. You know how whack that is.
Imagine.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, the
and our
award.
love South African chick, Doja Cat, like should have won something. Like she's been killing the game, bruh.
Yeah, she also won nothing. Roddy Rich got nominated for six and also didn't win anything. But my guy Kanye West won for best gospel album. Shout out to him.
And he's super
Uh,
rich now. He's like very rich now. And ish, Yazini, I feel like this is showing that like women are liabilities because okay, let's not talk about that.
Mm.
but also congratulations to Burna Boy. He won a
Yeah,
Grammy.
yeah.
Best is Paul. So congratulations to him. It's well deserved.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, who else? Oh, congratulations to Beyonce for tying the record for the most Grammys by a singer,
Mm.
male or female, of all time. That's like big moves as well. I was also happy for Megan Thee Stallion after the year she had last year,
Mm.
getting shot, people not believing her, losing her grandma, I think, and her mom or something along those lines. She just had a like really, really bad 2020, but somehow like she still managed to like music wise, come out on top.
Mm.
Uh, and then speaking of Meg, uh, did y'all see the performance of Cardi B of WAP on the gigantic bed and like Trevor's dream finally being fulfilled
Mm-mm.
of being in bed with Cardi B and Meg the Stallion? So, uh, shout out to Trevor as well. He did a really good job hosting. Uh, this was like the first Grammy in a while where I didn't hear anybody like say some bad shit about like the host, like, oh, he was like doing too much. Well, I did hear someone say like Trevor was doing too much, but like it's a show, we need to host at the end of the day. But I think like he did a good job. But anyway, back to the Meg and Cardi B performance. So they had this gigantic bed as a stage or something that looked like a gigantic bed, and they were performing. And at the end of their performance, like uh there's a part where Meg is grinding against like uh Cardi B or on top of Cardi B, almost like in a reverse cowgirl position, I think, or something like that. So eh, I don't. I think I can't remember how many complaints like the broadcaster got about that, and I saw like uh black people on Twitter be like they are like they are promoting a like promiscuity, I guess, or being promiscuous, and that like that wasn't like a good representation of what a like they're just not suitable role models for kids, and like eh, they were complaining that like, oh, like our children are gonna see this, and like these are the people like our children aspire to be like one day, and all that bullshit.
Mm. There ever if parental guidance or not suitable for kids under the ages of whatnot? Why don't parents pay attention to that? Like parents hardly ever check that out. But I get what they mean because it's gonna be all over the internet and they're gonna see it at school or wherever. But if they were complaining about the performance or never let's say that performance, then kids should have been asleep by 10 most.
And I'm both ways on this thing because like I do feel like yeah they shouldn't like do that because like kids are now exposed to like social media, the television, all of those things like at a very young age nowadays because bro, like they get phones at like 5 and they can even go to YouTube at like 3 years old. It's like it's bad. But at the same time, it's like it's your responsibility as a parent because at the end of the day, like let's just say, like not even from like broadcasting stations and whatever, there's a lot of information on the internet that will just ruin your kids' lives, but it's still your responsibility as a parent to like educate your children so that they know better because like there are things that you can't protect them from watching because bruh, they are so smart nowadays. They will go into, encrypted websites and stuff, So I just feel like they probably shouldn't do that. But at the same time, it's like that is what the entertainment industry is all about. Like music videos, they do that in music videos. So it's like,
But also, like, if you are watching like the Grammys with your kids and like that specific thing came on, you had the remote, you could have
Yeah.
changed.
yeah.
I'm just saying, like when we were kids and the sex scene would come on and your parents would change the TV or whatever,
Mm,
you could do that. It's not like your hands were tied.
yeah.
So like you busy staring at all this going down and cursing and being in outrage and continuing to watch with them. And like Dini said, like it's 10. The people who should not be watching TV should not be watching TV at that time.
Nope.
So everybody knows what it like. Yeah, after like peak hours, they like the content is not suitable for kids.
Mm,
So yeah, there's also like responsibility on uh like on them, and also I feel like people look at this a wrong way sometimes. You know,
Mm.
like people kill Cardi B for everything she does, and people like for me, it's Cardi B is living her truth. Like, let's not forget this person was a stripper, and like she's just for me it's just like she's being true to herself and to what she knows. So we can't expect everybody to be Rhapsody and drop bars and all that shit when that's not been everybody's reality. The reality of uh most American women is at some point they end up in a strip club to make ends meet or something along those lines as well. And like for me, it's just like, was there gonna be the same outrage if a man had done something similar?
nope. Definitely not.
Yeah,
Definitely not.
And like
obvious.
for me, what bothers me is the outrage comes from women
Yeah.
instead of women. So for me, it's like I think there's room for everything in music and entertainment. Like uh people express themselves in different ways and come from different backgrounds and like know different things. So for me, Cardi is from that type of life and is that type of person. Like he is that person and Meg as well. So like, and it's not like they were naked.
Mm.
Nope.
But so for me, I'm like, if the right people were watching and the wrong ones were not watching, they shouldn't have been an issue. And at the end of the day, it's not their responsibility to censor your kids and like filter what gets to them and what doesn't. If you're
Mm.
gonna buy your child a phone at 7 for God knows what reason, and then like be mad about this, that's on you. What is a 1 hour 7 or phone for you know if it's all that necessary for like it's the pandemic right now and uh all that and like maybe kids need to learn over the internet and whatnot, you can like make sure that they use their phones for appropriate things. There's also like YouTube for kids. Also, you can like lock different apps.
Yes.
Like your kid only gets to use this app and all that. So, man, now for me, it's just like give it a rest. Let Cardi B be Cardi B unapologetically so, and like like you don't have to pay attention to her. If it's not for you, watch something else, do something else, and like let the people who who she appeals to, uh, like the Banana
Yeah.
Republic.
But
Yeah, let them watch.
Cardi B doesn't even
Let me.
or allow culture to hear her playing WAP. She doesn't play such stuff. So like I think it's parents to restrict their kids from doing right and wrong. They can only do as much as they can, but they can.
And I feel like toxic parenting should probably stop, because this thing of not doing what you should do as a parent and then blaming other people when your kids don't like turn out the way that they should really stop. Because you need to blame yourself. Like, if your kids are like taught from home, trust me, like when they go out there, they're going to be sheltered from like so many things. So like people just don't do what they're supposed to do because they're so busy being on social media and whatever the shit they are doing, and then they want to blame Cardi B for messing up their child. But it's like, bro, your child is 9, first of all. They shouldn't be watching those things. Where were you when they were watching those things? Because you're supposed to be like monitoring your kid every time. So it's like, this toxic parenting thing should also stop, because people are just, bro, no, nah. I'm telling you, Nick, don't ever blame me for your kids doing nasty things because they were listening to Banana Republic. This is not for kids, okay?
Well, it kind of is. Not kids.
No, but it's not. Like, but by a kid, I mean like someone who's like 10, 11, 12.
Oh, okay, yeah, like I agree.
No, teenagers are not kids. Those are adults. Like, some of them have families and they're married and stuff. Bruh.
The fuck?
Honestly, I'm not even joking. Like, these kids are starting families, bruh, in high school.
Yeah, I.
You
Yeah.
like
And actually being present dads, unlike the people who should be.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think you've stumbled upon like a very, very important point when it comes to like toxic parenting. Because I feel like Black parents excel at this, that like my child could never. It must be the neighbor's kid or his friends that influenced him to do such and such thing.
Yep.
Ngare, your grown ass kid who's no longer even a kid, because like people will come and like bring complaints and all that shit to your house and say, your kid did such and such and such, or your kid, did such, and then you'll be there like defending them and being like, he's still a kid. Meanwhile, he's 23, 24. And like, or, people will tell you stuff and you say like, it's because of the company he keeps, And meanwhile, dear Black parent, chances are your child is the leader of the pack. He's
Exactly.
he's the one influencing everybody to do all that shit. Especially you guys, uh, who who have the parents who always like look at their kids and just like paint like the sweetest picture of them and say like my child would never like oh, your child is doing the most out there every single day. And it'd be the same parents who are judging the neighbor's kid and saying like, no, like the neighbor's kid is a hoe, or the neighbor's kid is gonna end up in prison. And like, yeah, always. It's always like that parent with the kid in that problematic child, and like the parent is in denial, who's always trying to parent everybody else's kids on the block.
Yep.
Yo,
And because they did not really parent their kids, they just told their kids, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, and don't do that. And what is going to happen if you tell me not to do stuff? I'm going to do it, but not in front of you because we already established that you're not going to allow me to do certain things. So I'm just going to hide them from you. And when you find out, motho wa gona shejane go bola ke heart attack le dilo mamang, witchcraft,
yes.
it is whoever and mama is like, no, baby girl, you were parenting wrong.
And
So
like,
that's what.
because you're always defending your kid, you're not teaching them
Yep.
to take responsibility and, you know,
Mm.
uh, atone for their actions and like actually get to learn from it. Because in their mind, they're always gonna get away with it because like you've got their back. Until they get into a situation where you have zero influence on like the course of action that is gonna come after what has transpired.
Yeah, that. Mm. And also, part of toxic parenting is like giving other people parental advice. Like the parental advice that I'm getting, my goodness, is so much
Mm,
that it overwhelms me. And then, like the things that I hear are gonna be so toxic to my kids if I listen to them. So people should just also not give us parental advice. We will do this however we see fit, whenever it happens. It's like, yo, like I get so tired of people being like, yeah, like listen to me, I'm older, since you're still a child. And I'm like, bro, I'm 25, what the fuck? Since you're still a I went through this and I went through this, and don't worry, you're gonna have kids. And when you have kids, you must do that. And in my brain, I'm always like, the fuck not. I'm not doing none of that. So we must also not tell each other stupid advice. Okay, it's not stupid, but it's like, it's stupid, but it's like, bruh, you guys should just probably stop.
yeah, don't
That's where
don't
toxic
don't sugarcoat
parenting
it.
comes from.
Don't sugarcoat it. It's stupid advice. It's what the fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely it is.
It's like relationship advice also. It's like, you must love your man. Okay, no, but that's not stupid. You must love your man, man.
You must hate him.
No, but like, I really, bruh, I feel like I'm at an awkward age now where people like start like, what's this, projecting all of their struggles and all of their life experiences on me. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, bro, no, stop. I'm probably
Mm,
not gonna go through that. Like, they give me so much advice. It's sickening and it
I
makes me
hate it when
tired.
it starts
Yeah,
with
you
the
don't.
when I was your age, 1, 2, 3, like, no, can we not go there
Yep,
because wow, you were your age can you were my age can 1980, not now. So
exactly.
please stay in your
Hmm.
lane.
And this thing, like, this is so crazy. Someone said to me, so this is what they told me. They were like, and like, don't date guys. Like, don't sleep with guys. You'll do that when you're older. And I was like, bro, you had a child at like 19. What the fuck? I'm 25. So it's like, I honestly don't get, like, how is it like the old brain? Like, am I also gonna be like that? And probably tell my 2000 that, when I was your age, and don't date, talking to a person who's in their late 20s or something, telling them don't date just because I'm like
Mm.
40 or 35. Like, I honestly don't get
I think I
that.
think I think like uh it's about like with age and experience comes like a different perspective. Like for instance, like in the don't date thing, uh if you ask me now, like if I'm having a conversation with a 16, 17-year old kid, uh for instance, who's saying what like I'm thinking about starting like dating, if I look at like if I look at hindsight and what I know now, I'm like, Yeah, like maybe I would have waited if I know now what I knew back then. Like if you look at your experiences, some of them, you look at them sort of and feel like, oh, like I was too young to go through all that. Hi, man,
Mm.
you know. So sometimes that does happen where you feel like you put yourself in situations that like sort of forced you to grow up faster than you like would have liked to, and like those situations like took your innocence at a time where like the world should still have been a very fascinating place for you, maybe. But Lorna, like it's also like my experience is not necessarily gonna be their experience. And like, teenagers, it's not like they're gonna listen. And I think it's just a thing with people in general, like when like we say it will end in tears or shit like that. People who are in relationships are like, just because your shit didn't work doesn't mean ours is not gonna
Yeah.
work. So
Mm.
I think like people mostly give advice from a point of like a sort of like, if I knew then what I knew now, I would have done things differently. And yeah, I think like most people like don't have any like they don't have any ill intent, or like they don't go into like giving you such advice with the perception of a I just want to make a clone out of you, or like just intentionally give you bad advice. I just think like uh the experiences have shaped how they think.
Yeah, and I understand. And I also feel like if you started dating early, there are going to be things that you complain about in the future. If you started dating late, there are going to be things that you complain about in the future. Like these two people have different problems. This one would be like, I wish I started earlier. And then this one would be like, I wish I started later. So it doesn't matter like how you decide to live your life, unless you live in a bubble. There's always things that you're going to learn along the way as you grow. And when you're older, you are wiser,
Yeah,
you know better. What I have a problem with is people who now are projecting. Now you are expecting me. You are sort of nah, like I don't like that. I feel like people should just have their own experiences. You can give advice, it's fine. Mara, people give you advice,
Use this.
like take it. And when you disagree with them, they sort of get hurt, and then they're like, no, trust me, I know better. It's like, no. Nah, fam, first of all, you were 25 in like 2005. The world looks different right now. And I'm 25 in 2021. Like the world changed so much that your advice is like outdated, bruh. It's like old, you know? Like we don't use those batteries anymore. Those ones that had like the coalish thing in the middle, and like those radios where you had to like look for the signal and then use that UJA's battery that we tested with our tongues. Like that, like times changed, and ish, I just have a problem with people forcing me to take that advice. It makes me sick. It's what I'm complaining about nowadays because I hear it
Like
a lot.
don't shove your advice
Yeah,
down my
bruh.
throat if
It's,
I didn't ask you. I didn't ask for it. First of all,
mm-hmm,
you are just coming
mm,
from wherever, from Treni or Kai
yeah.
Kai. Then now I'm in a bus. Where now you are just gonna
Mm.
force your shit down my throat. Don't do that. I I really hate it when somebody does that. I pray that I don't become that kind of person.
Yo, bruh. And they start with, you remind me of my younger self. Yo, I
it's like, no,
mean,
you're a pretty sir. So, but
bruh.
yeah, I agree. Like my mom is one of those people who will literally get mad because like didn't do what she said you must do, and like you have a mind of your own, you know. And then like she will literally distance herself from that situation. Like, okay, you didn't do what I said you should do.
Mm.
So like now you're gonna be on your own. The consequences will be yours to bear. And you do know if the shit blows up in your face, you're gonna get an I told you so somewhere along the line.
Mm,
I feel like that's a lot of adults don't necessarily give advice, but like just giving instructions on how you should live your life,
Mhm.
you know. And
Yes.
like
Mm.
what you don't understand is I only get to do this once, you know. I only get to do this once. So I'm gonna do it my way, whether it works or it doesn't. Like you got your chance and like your parents shoved the instructions down your throat and I think what people don't understand is because people always, my friend always used to say, well, I don't have a choice. And what I always kept telling her was like, no, you always have a choice. You just don't like the consequences that come with the choice you want to make. You know, there's you want to
Mm.
make the opposite choice of like what is being given to you, but like you don't want the burden of like the disappointment and all the other things that are gonna come with like, no, I decided to go the other way, you know. But you always have a
Mm.
choice. And like for me, I tell any young person that if it's pertaining like following your heart and like your career choices and like doing what you love, you know, make that choice. Be brave enough to make that choice. And like
But also, I feel like some people really don't have choices because your parents will literally disown you. Where are you gonna live? What are you gonna eat? So it's like, let's
that,
just do what they
but
want
it's still a
because
choice, like you said. Like you can still make the choice to not, but then you're gonna get disowned and you're not gonna eat. But it's still a choice.
and then the thing is, what happens to me now, Paul, if I get disowned by my parents and I have nowhere to
I
go?
hear what you're saying, and like from talking to Homotso last week, I think like he basically gave everyone sort of like an alternative to that, you know, work your way to independence so that you do get to like make those choices that like even when people do not approve, you know, already I'm not getting anything from you
Exactly.
and I don't need anything from you. I'm here because
Yeah, so by I don't have a choice, most people just mean that like for now, if my parents like cut me off, there's absolutely no way for me to support myself. So
For
let
now.
me do what they want to get to wherever that is. And when I'm there, I can have the choice of saying, no, fuck it, I'm gonna do my own thing. So sometimes when people say like I don't have a choice, they basically mean that I am not financially ready to be separated from my parents if they decide to cut me off because I don't wanna go to school.
speaking of choices, this is a perfect segue. Uh, I wanted to come here and ask you guys, because I've sort of been thinking about the future and what it looks like, and like the trajectory of our country as things currently stand. You know, we all went and got like higher education and all that shit.
Hmm.
You know, and you have a plan. You looked at it and like you have a plan. You know, everyone has a plan. So the first thing I wanted I what I've been asking myself is what happens when like the plan doesn't work, you know? So obviously you have a plan that I wanna do this like for the next 5 years, or like I'm gonna do this in order for me to get to this, you know, or I need to do this for me to do this. And honestly right now like I think the function of any government is to like ensure that like uh there is fertile soil for like the citizens to grow, you know, and prosper if they like, you know, do the necessary work, you know. Like I think it's a government's uh function to like ensure that if you like do get the education and everything that like they are jobs available or like it obviously you need like businesses and like whatnot, but like those people who do have like these innovative business ideas, and these people who need growth, I like government needs to make, you know, the soil fertile for them to be able to do these things, because like every government thrives off like, you know, the economy. Like we judge how prosperous a nation is by the economy and like the quality of living of the citizens, you know. So yeah, you have a plan, Dineo. Dini, you have a plan. What happens if the plan doesn't work? Do you have a plan B? I have my fingers crossed that one of you is gonna say hoeing, but yeah. What's the plan if the plan doesn't work? Because like some people do have like that mentality that I'm only gonna have one plan. It has to work. And I think I've lived
Mm-hmm.
most of my life like that. But I think like the older I get, you know, like and like because like the older you get, the you're actually gonna realize like you actually need way less than you think to be happy, you know. And then you just start like picking
Yeah.
things like uh if I can have independence and live debt free, I'm cool, you know. Uh, and then it stops being like more like if I can find a job where like the work environment is not toxic and I'm happy, I don't care what job it is, I am willing to do it, you know. You sort of like adjust the plan the older you get to sort of like just be like, okay, um, yeah, to suit your evolved mind is like because you the older you get, the more you realize, well, like, nah, I don't need all the shit I thought I needed. So yeah, I just wanted to know
Mm-hmm.
you that like, okay, you have a plan, but if the plan fails, what's the plan?
I feel like for a black child who comes from a normal to disadvantaged background, you should have more than one plan at all times. And I feel like a lot of my friends, like most of them are graduates, but they have side hustles. You know, they design like business plans, house plans, they sell stuff, and they're working on businesses because you honestly need more than one plan because what they lied about in high school was the fact that you're gonna graduate and find a job.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest lie ever. Things are worse now. Some people graduated
Yeah.
such a long time ago, but jobs are not there. So now it's like you spent like 3 to 4 years in varsity, and then now you're like, okay, I have to go and work, but no place will hire you. And if there's a post, it's looking for experience. That where the fuck are you gonna get experience when you're in school? Or the money is just so little that you can't afford to sort of take care of yourself living in the
I look at
city, like paying rent and all of those things. So I just feel like as a black child, if you don't come from a background where your parents can literally send you like R1 million for lunch, you should probably have like more than one plan. And most of the times your plans
yeah.
will not go according to however you planned it because you're black and you are already disadvantaged. And if you're a woman, it's even worse. Like the system is gonna work so against you. So it's like, yeah, bruh, you must just have more than one plan. But I feel like for me personally, one thing that I don't ever want to get, like, I don't want it to ever leave me is like perseverance because you need thick skin. You really do. Because sometimes things don't go according to plan. Because the fantasy life that I was having in like high school, because my white teachers lied to me, is not the same life that I have now. And along the way, like things happen and your life changes in a very drastic way. And then now you're like, oh shit, I was going this way, but then now, like, where are we going? So just do whatever it is to make it work. If it's a side hustle, start a side hustle, like selling things, like just doing the most. I personally do not believe in hoeing pole because the type of person I am, I'm just not made for that. Like, I don't like men that much to a point where I'd allow them to like even take care of me, because it's like, bro, when it comes to relationships, I feel like I'm too much of a narcissist, and I will never allow a man to tell me what to do just because he gives me money. I'm always gonna be like, fuck it with you and your money, and then I'm homeless tomorrow. So hoeing is not gonna work.
You can't have one plan. You have to have 4 plans, nyana. Like Dineo said. But
Yeah.
3 years experience, and maybe for your work integrated learning, they offered you 2 years or just 1 year or those 9 months. And then after, when you're done, but no, we want 3 years, 3 years experience. Sharp, fine. You get to another point, but you are overqualified. So at some point, you're gonna have to hide your qualifications and just blend in and wing it. So yeah.
Also, I've realized that a license will
Mm.
get you farther in South Africa than a degree would. So,
True. True.
uh, that's the one thing I tell someone is like, just get your license, because like you just more likely to get like a decent middle class income just from that than actually being a graduate.
Yeah,
So
you have to get your license when you get to the traffic department, but we want 3.5 for you to confirm that you booked and for you to pass the test. Whereas you just passed it, Mara, because this is South Africa. You know how
yeah, like even like the
Mm.
basic things like have so many obstacles inside of them. Like
they
uh
they did this natives thingy where you book online. And then once you get to their branch, you have to pay the person who's confirming your booking. You are paying for that. You are not supposed to pay for it, but you have to pay because, well, Nzansi. And then you're going to have to
yeah,
pay an extra amount for your booking. That 250, you have to pay it still. So now you know
that's right.
when it's like that, when it comes to testing, to your driving test, you're gonna have to pay the instructor or whoever the person is. It's a given.
To get to license. Yeah.
So in most cases,
Everything
you are
needs
fucked. But you always have to have a plan. Always have a plan.
Pretoria. I
Yep.
guarantee Pretoria, you're not passing your driver's license without giving them
No doubt.
a little bit on Pretoria.
No doubt.
Like you, it's sort of like
Mm.
standard package with the package. So yeah, it's fucked up, honestly.
And also, like, I hear a lot of people saying, you will not survive on a degree alone.
Not
Start
everybody
a
is gonna be
business.
an
And in my head, I'm just
entrepreneur.
like, we
As being
can't
an
all start business.
being an entrepreneur is hard, and
No,
it's
we
it's it's
can't. And
it's 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 a gift that not everybody has.
True.
and no, like, not everyone is made for
Yeah.
that. Like, some people
Exactly.
just suck at business
Some
and it's not
people
their
are good at
thing.
implementing other people's visions, and we should stop holding them that against them. Like it's okay to just want a job and to
Hmm.
be able to pay your bills
Yeah.
if that's what you want.
Yeah, and some people do excel at working. They have like the work
Mm.
Yes.
ethic and the ass kissing
Yes.
thing going on. Like, they're very good in that. But some people just can't kiss ass, and they're probably gonna snip you because you need to like be a puppet. So it's like not everyone is
Yeah.
gonna
Like
like
for
start a
me,
business.
for
Like,
instance, it's like
we need to like
sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. Uh Wherever I've worked, I've always looked at like the amount of revenue we as people bring in and what we get paid. And that has just never sat well with me. And then like there's always also been like the moral part. Like I could never sell like something to someone I didn't believe in, and like that I knew in the long run is bad for them and is disadvantaging them. And that's what I'm being paid to do, you know. So in a lot of these places that were like target driven, that like you need to get this quota of this and whatnot, I always fell short because like that's just not me. Like I'm not going to, especially like if I'm working in my hometown, you know, like that is a Mang Mang's kid you grew up with, or Mang Mang from your church, or Mang Mang, you know these people, you know. So like sometimes it's more like I know your background and what you're dealing with, and I know if I give you this thing, you're not gonna be able to, you know, make ends meet because of it, you know. But now it was just always like, you know, like you grappling with a your own beliefs and like just pushing this company's agenda forward. And like just because some people don't care, you know, like because every company will send you like when like the financial year ends, they will send you a like this is the revenue for the year. You guys made 17 billion in profit for us and what and like it grew from this, and everybody will clap hands like, yay, you're getting 100 rand raise, okay, you know, and like they'll just move on. So for me, that's just never sat well. I am not okay with that. But like some other people are just like, uh, they've got like, we have different priorities in life, you know. I don't have kids. I don't have, you know, like the same responsibilities other people might have. So uh, the mindset might be different. And like uh, my idea of like total freedom comes with like, you know, not owing anything. And like if I decided that I'm not going to work tomorrow, my car shouldn't get repossessed, or my the lights shouldn't go off in my house, you know, or whatnot. I believe in I, my aim is to create like a lifestyle for myself that is completely self-sufficient. But other people, like, they don't care about that. They don't think like that deep about things. It's not that deep to them. It's like you get a job, get a house, pay your mortgage, pay your car installment, put the kids through school, and that's life. And they're okay with it.
Yeah. But like talking about plans, I feel like you should just dreaming big is not realistic because people will tell you dream big like the sky is the limit. No, the sky is not the limit. You know, resources are, and if you don't have them, you are going to be limited. So I feel like as much as I believe that people should have plans, they must also be attainable. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with starting small. And you need like a plan for your plan also. Because I know people who are like, I'm going to quit my job and start a business. And when you ask them, like, what are you going to do? No, I'm just going to, I have like a talent of like building stuff. And then you ask them, like, do you have clients already? Have you built any stuff and sold them to see if they're working? No, but because I don't have time now, so I'm going to quit my job so that I can do that. But it's like, how is that going to work? Like, you have to just make these things happen while you're still working. And then when they start picking up, quit your job, and then you're moving into another stream of income now. So I just feel like dreams should also be attainable. Like, I feel like these motivational speakers are also messing us up because they are like filling us with fantasies and dreams that are not realistic. And we find ourselves like in like dire situations because we failed to plan because the
Yeah,
sky
and
is the limit.
I was speaking to Moses last Sunday, uh, and he was telling me that like at work he came across like some white woman who who's an accountant, and like since he's like doing his like degree and like that type of part of the world and whatnot, he was asking her like, okay, how did you get there? And she was like, nah, I don't have a degree or anything. I just went like from school and like to this company and they taught me how to do the work, you know. And like that's just white privilege for you. You don't need shit. You just need your mom and dad to make a phone call, you know. And that's what happens, you know. You find yourself in your job learning firsthand and like yeah, you can probably like register for courses and like make it official while you have a job, which is like not a black kid's reality, you know. So, but also in this conversation, what I was more focused on was uh I don't want us to like be a reactive people anymore, you know. I want us like be proactive because like I'm looking at money specifically and where that's going with like Bitcoin and NFTs, you know, things like that. And like there are a lot of scams out there. Make no mistake, you know, they are. But also be very aware that like that's the future of money, you know. Anything the fourth industrial revolution full-fledged, I don't think has like physical paper money anymore, you know. And I think too little of us pay attention to like where the world is going and where like the people who determine where the world is going are like sort of investing their money and doing their work, you know. Obviously you can't do it on that scale, you know, but if you get in early on certain things, in the long run you are set, you know. So uh Elon Musk just took a big chunk of his money and I don't know how many billion it was, yeah, Tesla, and he turned it into Bitcoin, you know. Uh, Jack Dorsey of Twitter and Cash App did the same thing. Uh, People are now taking like the contracts, record deals and like endorsement deals and all that shit. They're now taking part of that shit in Bitcoin as well, you know. So I was looking for a financial analyst to like sort of help us and like give us advice onto like where is money specifically heading and like how we can be proactive. I haven't found one yet, but when I do, uh yeah, those are just some of the things I'd like to know and like be early on the information, you know, because like everything that's happened in the world right now, I feel like most of us as black people have been like, oh shit, like we don't see that coming, you know. So yeah, it's just I don't want to be like one step behind anymore, you know. I want to get ahead of things and be on top of things rather than just be always looking
Yeah.
to like, oh okay, like because like even with our degrees and diplomas and shit, you know, some of the people you guys graduated in 2007, 2001. Your degree has expired because your ass is being replaced with a robot, you know, or the internet has forced your industry to change. So as a result of that, you are no longer relevant because you didn't like, you know, take the time to adjust and adapt. Some people are gonna like find themselves not being able to get employed for even the first time simply because like of the world has moved and your degree or whatnot is no longer relevant because of the internet, because of technology. You're gonna go to school for 4 years and never get to use that shit. you know. So like these are things that like I think as black parents, older siblings, uh, and kids just in general, like we should look at and like sort of see the trajectory of things now. Like, okay, if I have a 12th grader who wants to do this, how is that going to look 10 years from now? Where is that maneuvering to? And like, how can I make sure that like I give this kid or myself or whoever like the best chance of being ahead of it instead of like, because even with the South African education system, it's the same. We are reactive, you know. So, yeah, it is just a crazy time, and like I'm not gonna lie, I'm not certain about anything in South Africa anymore.
Yeah, and we must not only just be woke, like we must be woke and then do the actions that are necessary to get us to the next level. You mustn't only just speak all of this
But
wisdom and then like nothing is going on in your life.
that's
Because I feel
basically
like that's
like,
what's
because I
happening.
feel like that was our podcast last year. We did a whole lot of just like complaining and shouting and screaming, you know, and it was like, but then oh, how do we get out of the shit, you
Mm,
know? So
Solutions.
like
We
basically
need
just
solutions and
run.
action instead of you
yeah.
just talking.
Yeah. So I feel like this year every single episode has been more solution orientated. Like we're not focusing as much on like the
Mm-hmm.
disadvantage and the injustice, but on like solutions on like how
Mm,
can we put ourselves in positions to get out of the ones we've been put in
Yeah.
rather than continue, because I feel like yeah, like
yeah.
we woke, but so what? So what if it's not gonna change
Mm.
anything, you know? So what? So what if we're gonna point to like the
Yeah.
system and say, "Oh, it's rigged," and like we just shut up and like we don't like give people like tools to get out of it. So what? What did we do? Just we just we just highlighted some shit that people
Mm,
have been screaming for hundred of years. So uh yeah, also on
yeah.
that note, congratulations to like the 10 Rand Goes a Long Way movement for raising R1 million for student registration in just 1 week. And shout out to Standard Bank for matching that million. So they raised 2
Yeah,
million actually.
great.
Uh, yeah, it's just, yeah, man. Shout out to Lasizwe for like spearheading that thing and all the people who contributed to it.
Mm,
I mean, this just goes to show like the power in numbers, you know, there's power in numbers. Like imagine if black people could do this on a smaller scale. Imagine if families could like do that and say, oh, like we're gonna come together and like maybe create like an education trust for like all our kids, the cousins and mang mang, so that everyone gets to
Oh,
go to school, you know. Imagine if like
yeah.
count, you know, like people from the block got together and said, like, you know what, fuck the government. I guess they don't want to give us paving, so we're
Yeah.
gonna do it ourselves. You know, whatever we need as communities. Clearly, like we are in a space where the government have shown that, like they've had 27 years, and it's just like you've shown us, or you're not gonna get it done. So the onus is on us, you know, to come together and look after each other and ensure like that something is done. Like that's
mm,
just my 2 cents on that. I think like they did a great thing, and I think like if we as people started doing that on a smaller scale, uh, yeah, we prosper a lot more and be in better
Yeah,
positions as well.
true.
yeah. And I feel like people should just like go for it.
Yeah,
Like whatever
yeah,
it is that you're thinking in your brain,
yeah.
just do it. Like just do it. Just go for it.
Mm,
Just do it. And then you will learn as you go. Because I feel like, yeah, even me personally, like there are a lot of things that I
yeah, you plan
haven't even
forever.
done yet
I
because I'm
think
still
that's like
planning.
that's where me and you fight a lot
Yeah, I do.
because I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. If it doesn't work,
Mm-hmm.
it's fine. We can always change it along the way. Whereas you are more like, I need to
Yeah.
be like, I need to get my ducks in a row to the extent where like I'm like, okay, like now let's execute, Oh, fine, but like at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
we,
Which is not always wrong, by the
yes,
way, because like sometimes you do need to plan your shit out.
that
So I feel like people should just have like that perfect balance. You can't just be a person who
comes,
says, let's go for
yeah,
it. And you can't only
you
just
need
be a
to
person
recognize,
who
you need
says,
to recognize the
I'm planning.
moments and like I'll adapt and adjust on the fly and the moments where like this needs precision and planning. So like I think like that's where like you need the emotional intelligence
Mm-hmm.
and like I think that also comes with like experience, of like uh I planned too long on this and I missed out on an opportunity, or I did this like on the fly and I did it wrong. I should have waited
Mm.
a little more, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, but I feel like if you have like the perfect balance between the two, you are good to go and you will be okay to deal with whatever obstacle you're gonna get in the future. So
Also, it's
people
not
go
gonna
for
work
it,
the
but
first
also
time.
plan at the
That's
same
only
time.
like a very small percentage of people get it right the first time and get like these amazing stories we read in magazines. I don't know why
Mm.
it's never us and it's somewhere.
Yeah, man. And I also feel
Yeah.
like people glamorize the
Sometimes you
process
just
way
need
too
luck.
much.
That's it. Or to be in the
It's
right
like
place at
people
the
are
right
like,
time.
Yeah,
You
good connect. A good connect goes a long way. Yeah,
exactly, or to know the right people. That's always
it helps
important.
set.
Yeah, that one is the most important
yeah.
one because if you know the right
Helps if your
people,
mother
baby
works at
girl,
the
you are
SABC.
going.
Hell no.
Some people stop it with this. We all have the same 24 hours. Just stop it with we all have the same 24 hours. Tell us that this and this person connected me and also share with other people. Hi, people are so sickening out
Yeah.
there. And my birthday is coming up, so those $100, please.
Mhm.
I need
Just
to buy
send
a
me
cake.
alcohol, guys. That's all. Something's wrong,
And BTS
but yeah.
posters.
Ooh, yes. Or their albums. Well, I have all of their songs or whatever, but their albums will be super cool. Photo cards are welcome. Any type of merch is welcome, honestly. If you can bring them, then it's super great. Like if you can bring the seven guys here, just even one of them, just choose any random one and bring him to South Africa. I feel like that would be like, oh my goodness,
Wow.
I'm ready to
By the
die
when
now,
is
you
your
know?
birthday?
The 13th,
Of
Mm.
April?
Friday the 13th.
Okay. No,
Yes.
you guys heard her. There are only a few weeks left, so you better start saving up those.
And you probably know that like $100 is
They
like
must 10
1 cent
grand.
here. So they must probably send me like more than that.
Uh, I,
Yes.
like, uh, I can't remember what Trevor know. I think it was at the Golden Globes or something where he said something in Xhosa and like he gave the Americans a faulty translation. You saying that just reminded me of that.
Listen. So I have one last
Oh
banana
God,
pun before we
no.
leave. Do bananas buy
The
their
banana.
clothes?
Please tell.
Banana Republic.
That's actually a real
Banana
thing in
Republic.
Dineo. big one.
Wow.
Yes, that's
Banana
where they
Republic,
buy their clothes.
Banana Republic should give us a deal. Like just, yes, they should.
They really should.
So yeah, that's it for this week's episode. Okay. We will see you the next one as Banana Republic. So look for us with the pink banana.
Yes.
Okay. And anyone who criticizes that, it was Dini's idea, so you can kill her for it. I think it looks great. But yeah, we can kill Dini for that one.
And I personally feel like a nice long pink banana would be so delicious.
Pink.
Okay, that is.
Pink,
Ooh, there are pink bananas out there. But I
long
prefer
and pink are
caramel
not two things
bananas.
that I think go together.
Yeah, that is
Mhm.
true. Like it rarely happens. Okay, I'll just
Yeah, the
stick to
ones
my
that
brown
almost look
African
rotten, you
bananas.
know,
And two
those
tones.
ones, yeah. As in,
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good for banana bread. Those ones.
bye guys.
Bye.